intro quick because there's 4,000 gallons of water in the new Predator Bay 3000 plus 1,000-gallon estuary. Actually, probably more than that because it's got a 500-gallon sump. Let's just say there's a lot of water in there, and that's probably what you want to see. But before I forget, because I did forget last video, I'm going to put the winners on the screen right now. For the video before that, they guessed what was underneath the stock tub. It was camel crickets, or I accepted crickets. The first two answers came very close together, so rather than just take the first one, I took both. So if your handle's on the screen there, you need to email me and we'll go ahead and get you some prize packs out. 600-gallon Asian Jungle, doing awesome. We've added some fresh fish stock to the tank and some plants. Some of the plants worked out. Some of them got demolished by the fish, but we're going to keep working on that. But there's been a few more enhancements to that, and also in this video, we'll check on the grow outs. The albino arowana is going to go in the 4500 Xingu River Aquarium, and the grow outs for the new 1,200-gallon sort of Amazon community tank, the one you guys voted on. But the bulk of this video is going to be Predator Bay 3000. I think that's why you're here. So let's check it out. Let's go. Okay, so I've cleaned out the bulk of the biomedia from the sump for the 3,000 gallon. There's a lot of the smaller rings and bags. Underneath some of these is rings and bags also, a bunch of the blocks, and a whole bunch of lava rock. And there's probably about 2 more buckets of lava rock in there, but I went ahead and just pushed it over to the side because I want to start cleaning it out before the sun goes down here. So once again, we have the old trusty trash pump, and it's time to get this guy set up and just start running a bunch of clean water through the sump and letting this guy pump all the muck out into the yard. So we're back behind the 3,000 gallon at the mangrove estuary here, and we know that we finished off by doing all the plumbing. And what did he have left? Well, we had to clear out this 22-foot long sump, and as you can see, that has been done. It is all cleared out all the way down, and once again, the trash pump, that thing is worth its weight in gold. I basically just sat the trash pump down at the far end there, filled this sucker up with water, turned it on, and then I took the hose and I basically just started in this section. It was washing the mulm. Then the trash pump would pump it out. I'd fill it back up again. I'd move to the next section and rinse and repeat until we got all cleaned out. So it took a while just because it takes a while to fill up the sump to get it ready for the trash pump, but man, that thing is awesome. And of course, the next step we had was we had to do the brace for the estuary. So I had a leftover 2x10 and of course some 7-inch bolts. And before you know it, we have a nice brace on there that's going to hold this, keep it nice and keep it from flexing at all, and nice and firm. And heck, we are ready to go on the estuary, and we're ready to go with the sump. Oh, and also one of the commenters noticed that I think it was Just Who Won, that the PVC plumbing here was dipping down a little bit, and I was so funny because I had bought a package of 1-inch clamps specifically for this. And I totally forgot why I bought the 1-inch clamps, and I had them over there, and I was just like, what the heck? And then when I saw that comment, I was like, that was why. So I thought that was pretty funny. But at any rate, we are all buttoned up, and we are ready to go, and it's time to put water in this piece. So it's going to take a while, but I'm going to start filling up the estuary, the 3,000 gallon, and the 500-gallon sump. So when you put it all together, it's another 4,500-gallon system. So here goes the water test. All right, I'm crossing my fingers. We're filling it up. Hopefully there's no tears, nothing but smiles, and we can get Predator Bay 3000 online. All right, here we go. Filling up the 1,000-gallon mangrove estuary. The water test has begun. This is very exciting and very nerve-wracking times. It's obviously going to take quite a while, but I like to fill it up in segments and then obviously continue to monitor everything the entire time. But this is a big one because this guy ran for many, many years. So I have high confidence that everything is still fine. Same with the sump. In fact, the sump just had you know, was completely filled up, you know, 5 different times, 6 different times as I was cleaning it all out, so everything was good. So this is the big test here, and then once this is filled up and we filled the 3000, the sump back up, and we turned the whole system on and we tested all the plumbing, that's sort of the second big test. But this is exciting times. Predator Bay 3000 with a 1,000-gallon mangrove estuary is going through its water test. We are almost there. Who else wants to see the sharks swimming around in that massive beast right there? Day 17 of the test fill. We are still filling up. Now it's, I don't know, maybe an hour or so. As you can see, the water is all the way down. So the entire tank has water in it, deeper over there on the deep side, but so far so good, because all the water is in the tank and not on the floor, so we'll check back soon. Alright, we're all filled up. Let's go to the far end and see how that plumbing's holding up. Alright, sorry, just checking the floor, and nothing on the floor, and we are definitely going down the drain, and I'm not seeing any problems. Let's get some light on here. Looking good. Is that a little leak? Yep, little leak on the bulkhead. Let me stop the water and fix that. Okay, so I found a little bit of a flaw in the silicone there, plus I'll give the bulkhead a little bit of a twist. But in the meantime, I'm going to lower the water level just a little bit here in the estuary. I'm just draining it down into the sump, so that way the water doesn't go to waste. Need to fill up the sump anyways. So the only leak I found was at the bulkhead, all along the plumbing. It all looked good all the way down to here, drained all the way in. So yeah, it's not a big deal. It's actually anyone who builds these sorts of things, the bulkhead is it's like the most likely spot for this sort of thing. So and it was very minor. So I found a flaw in the silicone, and with my tool I could twist slightly, so it needs about a quarter turn, and then fix the silicone. So drain the water down low enough here so I can dry it off, and I'll cut out some silicone and redo that around that bulkhead at the far end. And the weekly 60% water change on the grow out tank. Best way to speed growth is power feeding and lots of water changes, and that's what we've been doing here. You see that albino arrow in the back. It's getting big, and all these Spheni geophagus are looking beautiful, as well as the albino threadfin acara. Definitely going to make for some awesome feature fish in the 1,200-gallon community aquarium, along with the angels. So it'll be the Spheni geophagus group, sort of the bottom crew, and then the top crew will be the 25 angels that are growing out in the other grow out tank. Of course, we all know where the arrow is going. The Xingu River, 4,500. What a beaut. Alright, so it's been a day and a half, and the estuary is still holding water, at least up to where I have the water line. Went ahead and fixed that tiny little dribble we had right here, so gave it another quarter turn, and even more silicone on the inside. Everything is looking good. So what we're going to do is we're going to give the estuary a little bit more time for that silicone to cure. We're going to start filling up the 3,000 gallon. So basically, once I get the 3,000 gallon up to the drain, then we'll go ahead and kick the whole system on, and we'll start pumping water from the 3,000 over the estuary, have that drain down into the sump, and we'll just keep going until the whole entire system's filled up. And then, yeah, we're just gonna run it and test all the plumbing, the returns, the drains, you name it, everything. Okay, here we go. As you can imagine, it's gonna take quite a while to fill up this 3,000 gallon beast, but we've got water going in, splashing nicely against the front glass. So roughly 3 times as long as the estuary. Sorry. I was kind of laughing. I was having to yell over the water. So yeah, it's 3 times the size of the estuary. So it's probably going to take, I think the estuary would have been somewhere between an hour and a half and 2 hours. So you can do the math. But we're going to test out, because you know we did the patch over there on the far side, and we put in 2 new drains here. So obviously we have to validate that they're all good. But I cannot wait to get this whole system turned on, running water through the whole thing, through all the plumbing that returns the drains, and if that goes good, it's almost time for Predator Bay 3000. All right, this is frustration mode. After 4 hours of filling, no problems, no leaks. 5th hour of filling, there's a leak around the back. That's why we have the trash pump in there, because we're going to pump out all of this water out here into the darkness at midnight, because of course that's when leaks happen. Let's go around back. Of course, it's not the new thing I built. That's holding water just fine. But if you look along here, there is a little dampness. You can see it right here. You can see it drip. So for something that held water for 6 years, all of a sudden it was empty for maybe a year, I don't even remember, and something's going on, and I see it all the way down here. So needless to say, got to get it drained fast, and then I'll get in there tomorrow and see what's going on. So now this video is not about trash pumps, but just once again, I gotta praise this thing. Right now, I need to get this water out of here quick. Regular pumps, it would take forever. I just plugged this thing in. It's already got down an inch or 2. So I can get this water out of here fast. Less to clean up back there. And faster I get this out of here, faster I can get inside there tomorrow and get it all dried out and see what the heck's going on. So, once again, the trash pump saves the day. Well, that was fast. The trash pump got it pumped down, but it can only go so low, so the rest of the way, the Ultra Zero, because I need to get this thing all dried out, because as I was looking more and more back there, along the bottom edge in the back there, I think there's a couple spots, so I don't want to say too much because I'm frustrated. It's late at night, but yeah, I got some cleanup to do in there. I got some inspecting to do to see what's going on. Very surprising, because like I said, this ran for a long time. I think it sat empty for a year, but wasn't expecting that. So we'll see. I'll let you know when I figure out exactly what the problem is. Alright, time for me to go to bed, but the Ultra Zero's got it down as low as it can go, and now it's time for the air mover to evaporate the rest of this water so we can get in there and get the fix. Since the pressure has been down, the leaking has in the back there has pretty much disappeared, so that does tell me it is pretty minimal. But either way, the it's got to be dried out, it's got to be cleaned up, and I got to put a well, we'll see. I can't speak to it now. If I find the exact area, patch that. But knowing me, I'll just patch that entire back area. I'll err on the side of caution. Well, that was a pretty hectic night last night. As you can imagine, it took like 5 hours to fill up the tank, and I checked, every hour, no leaks. It wasn't until that 5th hour, when it was almost filled up, that I guess there was enough pressure that I found 3 small leaks. So the first thing I had to do was drain out the tank. So I used the trash pump, then the Ciche, and now we got the air movers, because we got to get it totally dry. So we have those on both sides. I haven't got a full inspection yet, but I did look in there, and I saw some tiny little hairline cracks. So my guess is, for 5 or 6 years it was full, it had all that weight, and then it sat empty for a year. Maybe some sort of flex, like there was, pushing so much down, and then when the weight came off a little bit, maybe it caused those little hairline cracks. But fortunately they match up. So one in the corner, one here, and then one over here. And I'll take you around back and show you the exact spots where the water was coming out. And the interesting thing is, as soon as I started to drain the tank and took the pressure off, it stopped leaking. So it really took quite a bit of pressure to do it. And what I'm seeing on the inside is tiny little hairline cracks. So there was one tiny little leak here, just, you know, barely seeping out. One, not quite here, but right in here, again, very barely seeping out. And then one here. And on the inside, there's tiny little white, like, so you have the black pond shield, there's tiny little white lines where where you see like a crack. And it is fiberglass there, so it's almost the reason like it was so slow is because even with the pond shield, with a crack in the pond shield, you still had all that fiberglass and resin, so still haven't taken the time to work its way out. But it would only have gotten worse. So there's obviously only one course of action, and that is to drain everything, get in there, clean it all out, inspect it thoroughly with a bright light. I'll get down there and I will heavily inspect it, and then I will certainly, you know, patch whatever needs to be patched. Have all the materials on hand, so that's a given. It's just a matter of getting the work zone all dried and cleaned up in there. The good news is the estuary, no problems at all. It's been holding water for a long time. It was filled all the way up, no problems there. So looking really good on that. So that is positive. And on this guy here, the leaks, they truly were hairline. Take you back around. They are, I mean, really you can't even see them unless you get right up there, and you gotta get the light right on them. They are very, very faint. So I think honestly the hardest part is gonna be just cleaning the zone to get the work zone prepped and ready, more so than actually fixing the problem. So what are you gonna do? You know me, if in doubt, if I'm not confident that I've identified the leak areas and everything, then I'll just fiberglass the whole bottom and back, well, yeah, the whole 9 yards. Definitely all the leaks were right at the bottom, right where the floor meets the walls, which would make sense with settling. All the walls, corners, everything looked good. So I think we're on top of it, but unfortunately it is a delay. It's obviously not the absolute desired result here. Did not go perfectly, but it happens. I'm really not too concerned about it. I've fixed way more than that, and like, again, from what I saw, it was pretty clear what happened. Pretty good working theory there. Once I get it fully cleaned up, we'll know for sure. But Predator Bay 3000 is going to have to wait another week, because to do it right, I'm not going to rush it, obviously. It's going to take me, you know, get it all cleaned up this weekend. I'll get in there, start doing all the repairs, but then I've got, I'm going to go ahead and fiberglass it again over top. I got to rough up what's there, glass that, and then do 2 coats of pond shield over that once I identify all the spots. Or if I determine, you know, that it's easier just to do the entire back seam and side, you know, I'll do that. I have the materials to do whatever I need to do. So Predator Bay 3000, it ain't going anywhere. It's just delayed a week. So it'll be even that much stronger and tougher once I'm done with these repairs, and we'll get this monster online. And in the meantime, I can still work on the estuary. I can get the sand in there. I can start aquascaping that. I can get the lights going for that. So plenty to do to advance the system, even with the setback. So what are you going to do? But we're going to fix it, I can tell you that. Predator Bay 3000 will go live soon. So with those little leaks in the back of the 3,000 gallon, that was definitely a little bit of a setback, but as you can see behind me, all the water is out, it's completely dried out, and by the time you're watching this, I'll be in there cleaning out the area, inspecting it. I'll film that, let you know. We'll find out exactly what went wrong, and then I'll start fixing it. And knowing me, I'll probably fiberglass and repaint the whole back seam, the entire thing, just because the amount of time it takes to do part of it or all of it is not really that much different. So, you know, why not just overkill it, you know? So things that are going good though is the estuary. No problems at all with the estuary. We've got water in here. We've got it flowing. I've got the drain fixed. The sump was all good. So once we fix the little leaks on the 3000, we're going to fire this thing back up. Hopefully it's just a 1 week delay. Another good thing is for next video is I have a bunch of improvements going on to the 4,500 gallon Xingu River Aquarium. I've got new lighting. So you know the lights that I put right on top of the lids, those are great lights when they're up high and that light can spread. But when they're right on there, it's a little bit too much of a spot beam. So I got whole new lights for that. We'll repurpose those lights for the estuary over here because we need them up high because we're going to have mangroves growing out of here. And I also have improvements for the water flow and the aeration for the 4,500 gallon. Really cool piece of equipment I'm adding on there. So we're going to be putting all that on in the next video, and hopefully we're going to be showing you the water flowing through the entire predator-based system, as well as this is already proved out. So I can go ahead and start adding sand and rock. We can start aquascaping the estuary. So there's a lot of things we can do. Plus I got to put those lights in. I got to run some electrical up there so I don't have cords everywhere. So there's definitely a lot to keep me busy while I'm waiting for fiberglass and pond shield to dry on the patches. So yeah, check back next week because it's going to be a good one. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you very soon.